Alrighty. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for cricket tuning in. I'm Cricketoon. Tonight, I'm gonna start things off with some Genshin Impact. Get some things and get my dailies and all that dealt with. Maybe even continue on with whatever events going on or redoing the Lantern Rite event. So there's some things to do in that. And I'll just use my resin on something, and that's might be it. Might do a little more exploring in the new area. I think I'm only at like 96% on that. So, yeah. First part of the stream's going to be that. And then probably after maybe an hour or two of that, then I'm either going to do some retro games or maybe help on Stardew Valley. I don't know. That just popped into my head. But kind of leaning more towards retro games, though. I'm not sure what I would actually play, though. I could just hook up my Super NES Mini and just play random stuff off of that. That's a possibility. Yeah, I might consider doing that. It'll be easier to hook up that way. Yeah, that's going to be the plan for tonight. Just a little bit of some Genshin Impact and some retro stuff. I have it listed in the title. If anyone wants help in Genshin Impact, that's one thing I like to do. I like to help other people play their games. But anyway, swap over to here. It's already at the big stony gate. Should also unmute it. Still takes a while for it to load. It actually had to do a lengthy verify file integrity when I started it up, which is why the stream's a little bit late. Our freebie welcomes. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what the updates are. there's a problem with Razor stuff. That's nice. Those are the known issues. This is what they've actually fixed so far. Yeah, right. And this is happening too. Yeah. So this starts today. I see. Okay, so that's what they're doing. Okay, give me a second. Sorry about that. I had something trickling on the back of my throat. I had to get rid of that. So anyway, what's happening here is that MiHoYo has made alternate skins for Amber, Rosaria, Mona, and Jean to correspond with new restrictions that they have to abide by in China. How it's working in the China server is that these new skins are now going to be default, and but for everywhere else, they're going to be alternate skins for everyone else. But from what I'm reading here, it looks like they're giving out the skins now, and then after 2.5, they're then going to be forced on everyone. And then after 2.5, appearances of them in the game itself will go to the alternate outfits, but you can still pick their regular outfits. And then after 2.6, then their animation cutscenes will be changed to reflect the alternate outfits. So basically, those four characters are unfortunately getting a bit of a censored treatment. That's what China's new video game regulations or whatnot are trying to enforce. Yeah, here they are. Please claim them in time. Alloy can screw herself. I'm not accepting that alloy. Alright, so let's... Yeah, so there's her default. Dressing room. Here's the Jean's new one. So really the only difference is mostly up in the chest area. There's also less definition in her pants. to put it nicely. So yeah, as you can see, there's less skin. It's not as yeah, well, mostly just less skin. That's for Jean. Rosaria's. Her changing her is that she actually looks more like a proper nun now. Still got some edginess to her. And her top's not as defined. It's more flat. She's no longer wearing fishnets too. Still got her booty though. That's important. And Amber's. More frills on it. A little more whitish color too. She also doesn't have cleavage. Either because they put a shirt there or they actually deleted her cleavage. Yeah, she looks fancier in this one. And I can't show off the Mona one because I don't have Mona. Which is a good thing. Might be able to show that off in Character Archive, maybe? No, guess not. Well, this is her default costume. Which is, doesn't leave much to the imagination. Very revealing. If I remember seeing her alt costume now, she's a lot more covered up. She's not wearing tights anymore. It's not as revealing as this. Yeah, and she's poor. Alright, I got a new name card that I'm never going to use. Alright. Let's not look into that shit. Let's get some of these done. Mostly focusing on leeway commissions. Mostly hoping to get the ones that are tied to achievements and quests. Actually, you know what? Keep this team.
I will have order. Solidify.
Witness the power of the wild.
Freeze. This moment will be frozen in time.
Hate doing these escort ones.
Stabilize.
That would suck so much if I missed the bridge.
Time for retribution!
Yeah, got the piggy in the process.
Cool it!
Ring cutter! No, my sword!
Oh, so sorry. Order guide you. Yeah.
Be nice if these commissions had better variety.
Quake!
Probably still won't make it, but probably faster. That was the exact reason why I went into the water, so I don't aggro that guy.
Verdict is...
Nice if they actually dropped their drops. Not that I need hilichurl masks at all. Need a whole lot of everything else, though. Yeah.
Astra. Thank you for Add Astra.
Funny enough, she never said thank you up until Inazuma got added. Which then the volume was like too low on it, so you could barely hear her saying thank you. But now they cranked it up. I have catching now. Care for her, I don't plan on leveling her up or anything. Let's get these. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh. Oh, nice. Get those. If I can come up with enough Prima Gems, I might be able to do a 10 roll. I actually came into this patch with about 60 rolls. Because I was saving up for Zhongli. Because I wanted to get more of his constellation. Which I did. He's now at C2. Hey, you've got new stuff to do here.
This is order. Another test. Solidified.
Witness the power of Gugwa.
Dodge this. Don't get frostbite.
Order guide you.
Freeze.
Time for retribution.
Body and mind. Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a...
Cool it.
Don't tell me. It's exactly what fucking happened. Went way too far out of the area and he respawned with full health. Fuck that ass. Yeah, the deal with this event is that the guy with the red insignia has like crazy defense.
No, my sword!
Dodge this. Oh, so sorry.
This is order. Stabilize.
Witness the power of Gugwa. Rain outlines your fate. No, my sword!
Cool it. Don't get frostbite.
Time for retribution.
Get rid of his defense debuff by using certain fireworks, but say screw that. Nice that this event's allowing us to use our bloody wave rider around here. There's a Sealy up there. Jeez, I must have missed that. Jeez, I thought I found all the Sealies in Leeway. There's a...
I will have order.
There's the Fatui assassin.
Rain cutter.
Freeze.
Can't run from death.
Didn't realize it was Sealy up here.
Certainly worth the extra mile.
His chest was good. If it was a common chest, I'd be like, bother rescuing him anyway. Or guiding him.
Oh, so sorry.
Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse.
Order guide you. This is order. Solidify.
No, my sword. Witness the power of...
This moment will be frozen in time. Cool it.
Just you wait.
Nah, I don't feel like waiting. Now we have to go all the way over there. Oh, hey, here's a treasure chest that I missed.
One man's stone is another man's gem.
I'm only 93% in this section. Something all the way over here, though. Or no, wait, that's... No, that's something different, I think. No, that's connected to the, That's connected to another event. Rio Savage. Where we gotta beat up more of these stupid Spectre guys.
What is the situation?
Actually, we'll de-luke out. More like, where's Benny? There's Benny.
Gonna be epic.
Have order. Now it's my turn. Gather.
Let me weave you a verse. Huh? No, my sword. Teamwork is strength.
I messed up. This is order. I messed
Rain cutter. Let's light it up. Let's light it up. Everybody stand back.
Inazuma shines eternal.
Just you wait.
That was kind of a waste for burst, but oh well. And that should be the last of that one. Yeah, we'll go over to that box. Yeah, there it is. Nice, okay. So now we just got these ones to do. We can teleport to our wave rider. Would make things a lot easier. Ah, okay. Just gotta beat up treasure hoarders. Like that.
I got careless.
That you did. That you did. What if this makes us faster? Yep, it does.
wrong test subject.
Oh, still got more. This boat's rocking. Nice. Oh, and if I was a little faster, we'd get this one. But this one's the important one because it gives us primos. So I can bypass that one. Let's go to this one. Sandbar. Faster than the previous one. There we go. And we got all of them. For that one anyway. Learn how to do this one. This one's a neat event because you just have to rotate an object in a certain direction so it shows a particular shadow. I already got these ones. We got these 3 to do.
Try the shadow lantern.
She's also got a funny voice. Oh, this one has 2 different segments. Hmm. That'll works. You gotta tilt it around until the riddle progress bar at the bottom. Oh, I see what's going on. It's the geo symbol. I had it upside down. Oh, now I see what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be some scales. Yeah. And this is Mora. Gonna rotate segment 2 a bit. There we go. That one took a little more effort. In 3 days we can do the next set. Now to make some fireworks. Which we gotta do this quest first.
You've arrived. I've made all the necessary preparations and even packed some handmade snacks.
Oh boy.
Oh, that reminds me. I've also prepared some launch tubes made by Pungi. I hope the Adepti will like them. Is there anything else I should bring? Good. In that case, let's first pay Madame Ping a visit in the city before heading out to Jueyun Karst.
Yeah, 'cause she's an Adeptus. Could have just launched from the Jade Palace, but that would be too long a trip. Oh, yeah, and Faye's with her.
The festive season is upon us. This is no time to be running hither and thither. We should relax and enjoy the season.
Hey, Maddo-san, thanks for cricket tuning in. I appreciate it. Oh, you don't need to apologize. It's all good. As long as you're here now. How you doing tonight?
I get it, Granny, but you know, having lots of clients is a good thing.
I'm sure it is, but really, child? Who could be seeking your help during the lantern rite?
You'd be surprised.
We sneak up behind her and go, boo!
Madam Ping! Happy Lantern Rite! It's a pleasure to see you again, Madam Ping. How are you?
Oh dear, well, look who's here. I'm so glad to see you all in time for the festival.
Hello, traveler. Long time no see. Oh, and Lady Kuching is here too.
The Jixing have prepared some small gifts for you to celebrate this festive occasion. There are some seasonal goods, 2 bolts of fine silk, and some exotic flower seeds which I picked specifically for you, Madam Ping.
Oh, so specifically.
I brought all the lighter gifts with me, but the silks are still on the way. I just submitted them for delivery, so I'm sure they'll arrive in good time. Please, accept our humble gifts. I hope you'll find them to your liking.
Wow, those gifts sound marvelous. Please be sure to thank the Jixing on our behalf.
Yes, how very nice of you. I'm sure the flowers will be most beautiful if you personally selected the seeds. Thank you very much, Kuching.
Please, enjoy them. We intend to visit the other Adepti as well, so I'm afraid we must be going now.
I presume you mean Cloud Retainer and the others? Yes, they should be over in Jueyun Karst. By the way, I've heard that you designed all the street decorations yourself, Kuching. You decorated the city so beautifully, yet you don't even have the time to go and see it for yourself. What a pity. Yanfei really enjoys spending time at the festival. You'll find her wandering around there whenever she can spare a moment.
Come on, Granny. I wasn't wandering around. I was providing essential consultation to my clients.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Oh, is that so? Were you also holding
Oh, okay.
consultations
No problem.
with clients while you stood in front of the grilled tiger fish stand for all that time?
As a matter of fact, I was helping them calculate the prices. It's not easy, you know. I had to check a lot of different items. That's right. There are no holidays in my line of work. I have to be ready whenever my clients need me.
That sounds exhausting. Oh, Paimon can't imagine a life without holidays.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, though there are no set holidays, I do get to decide on my own schedule. I can always budget some time to relax. Otherwise, I would always look exhausted in front of potential clients. It'd be hard to land new cases after leaving a terrible first impression. Besides, what's the saying? Ah, yes. A rested worker is an efficient worker.
I was there many times when I was supervising the festival construction, but I haven't been there since. I was planning to go after I finished my work, but the work keeps piling up. I ended up completely forgetting about it. Yes, I should take the opportunity to show you around while you're here.
Yeah. Thankfully, I came into this Zhongli rerun with 60 rolls ready, so I did manage to get second constellation just yesterday. I plan on doing more rolls into it to see if I can get his third or maybe even his fourth.
But first, we should head to Jueyun Karst. If you'll excuse us, Madam Ping. We'll be leaving now. Let's see. Which Adeptus shall we visit first? Oh! Why don't we visit Cloud Retainer at Mount Outsong first?
Indeed.
She usually stays inside her abode, so she'll be super easy to find.
I know that you must be busy.
Lady Kuching is so hardworking. Maybe I should take a leaf out of her book.
Alright, now we gotta get all the way over here and talk to Cloud Retainer. Oh, Anya's with her.
festive season is fast approaching. What brings you to one's abode? Has the Ministry of Civil Affairs simply run out of work for you to do?
Well, with Lantern Rite just around the corner, I decided it was a good time to take leave and pay you a visit. But, where are Mooncarver and Mountain Shaper?
Them? Oh, don't even get one started.
Will do, Maddo. Thanks for stopping by, and you have a good night.
Oh, is that not the Traveler and the Yu-Hung too? A rare visitor indeed.
Happy Lantern Rite, everybody!
Greetings, Venerable Adeptus. And greetings, Ganyu.
Huh? Lady Kutching, I didn't expect to see you here.
The Yu-Hung of the Qixing. Here. Most fascinating. Most courteous of you to travel hither and pay your respects. What is the purpose of your visit, if one may ask?
It's the festive season, and on behalf of the Qixing, I'd like to give you our regards. Please, accept our humble gifts.
As the governing body of Liyue, the Qixing must be busy with a myriad of affairs. And yet, you still take the time to visit one in this mountain abode. Eminently considerate of you. Oh, what an amusing cylindrical device. I wonder what that could be.
This is a new type of firework which has been modified by the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've heard that you are fond of gadgets, so I've brought one for your amusement. Cloud Retainer. Although she is not outwardly opposed to us, she is still skeptical of Liyue being ruled by humans. Maybe she thinks humans are still too young to handle it. No matter. With time, our strength will become apparent enough. Before then, we should try to give her a good impression. Good thing I came prepared. Cloud Retainer has a great interest in gadgets, so she will certainly appreciate this gift. Ganyu has said that Cloud Retainer is very picky about food, so I made sure not to bring any snacks to avoid upsetting her. I've given everything thorough consideration.
Whole thinking portion doesn't
Should
need
all
to
go
exist.
Goodness me. Whoever would have thought? Oh, my, how very interesting. It is intricate, with ingenious design, and is aesthetically agreeable.
Yes, judging from Cloud Retainer's expression, it seems this gift was a success.
Very good. One shall gladly accept this device. One surmises from Ganyu's words that you also wish to see Mooncarver and Mountain Shaper. Pity. Your timing is most unfortunate.
Oh, are they not home? Oh, we wanted to see them too.
Those two old fossils. Mooncarver has been most anxious to see how Liyue Harbor fares. But the agreement was clear. Liyue is now in the hands of the Qixing, and he cannot simply roam into the city and begin supervising others' work as he pleases. So one tried to persuade him otherwise, proposing that if he could not be placated, he could go to the city disguised as a human and take a brief look around. Alas, he is too stubborn, too proud. He would have none of it. Thereafter he left, claiming to have gone traveling. He has not returned since.
Oh.
Mountain Shaper, however, is more open-minded. But he said he wished to look for something new with which to defend the tranquility of his mountain. He told one that he was leaving in search of treasures, and one has not heard from him since. Wait. Surely this is not a case of two old coots in cahoots, rusing to excuse themselves that they might venture behind one's back, to scurry away and go traveling together.
Seems possible.
Huh? What's everybody doing here?
This voice. Is it Shenhe?
Oh? Oh? So Shenhe's here too! Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer?
Is she
Probably.
the one that you mentioned before?
Hello, everyone.
She was in the last event.
Shenhe, this is Ganyu. You have most likely heard of her.
Hello. I'm Ganyu. I work at Yujing Terrace. I've heard that you returned to Liyue Harbor recently, so if you need anything, please feel free to come to me.
I will. Thank you. I brought some food from the city. I heard that during Lantern Rite, people in Liyue bring food to share with their friends. So here I am.
Oh no, I made a point of not bringing any food offerings. Is it going to be okay?
Subtitle says snacks, but not food offerings.
Oh, and you even brought food for those two old fossils.
That's right.
After barely a few days in the city, you have learned so much. Thank you for these delectable edibles, Shenhe.
Huh?
Everyone, you shall all be staying in Liyue Harbor in the future. One should like to think that you will all look out for each other. Is that understood?
Will do.
Yes, understood.
This place is much livelier than I'd imagined.
The Conqueror of Demons? One has not seen him of late.
Well, then he's probably not enjoying Karst. Let's go look for him in his usual spot, at Wangshu Inn.
In short, one is the only Adeptus who has elected to remain in Jueyun Karst for the festival. Had Ganyu not come to visit, one would likely have stayed firmly put in one's abode to resume research of gadgets and mechanics.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please accept my profuse apologies.
Why the sudden solemnity? It would certainly not be the first time one has been interrupted on your account. As a youngling, you did so love to scurry around the place while one's attention was monopolized by mechanisms. You were especially drawn to a certain implement one had made. Oh, what was it?
Oh?
Oh no, here she goes again. This could spell trouble for Ganyu.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, Cloud Retainer. I just remembered there's something I must attend to. I should be going.
Oh, why the sudden haste? With the Yuheng present, why not settle this matter here and now?
No. It's something very important. In fact, I must see Lady Ningguang about it immediately.
A matter so pressing that you must find Ningguang in person?
Yes. Ningguang and I have different scopes of work, you see, and Ganyu has to report to both of us respectively. It's indeed not easy for her.
Lady Keqing is trying to help me.
No shit.
Yes, that's right. I'm very sorry, everyone. I will take my leave.
She just doesn't want to hear Cloud Retainer go on about her past.
Gone already. That child, she has always been easily ruffled. One can sympathize, however. It is no simple thing to be a secretary. Nearly every matter in Liyue Harbor, momentous or trivial, passes through Ganyu's diligent hands. But even as an Adeptus, she must never neglect her own health, lest she fall prone to exhaustion. Ganyu is an assiduous worker, apt to foregoing food and rest once she is busy. Please make sure she eats and sleeps properly whenever you see her.
I will. Ganyu has always been a great asset to us. Her health is a priority, so I will take good care of her.
Look who's talking. This whole event's about her being overworked.
The Yuheng, reliable as ever. It was indeed a wise decision to leave Liyue Harbor to you.
We will certainly strive to live up to your expectations.
As for these edibles, they do look delectable indeed. You may leave them here. Shenhe shall bring these into one's abode, and one shall pass them on to Moon Carver and Mountain Shaper once they have made their return.
If they make the return.
This firework has an intriguing design. One must conduct a thorough study of it. And one also wants to hear what Shenhe has learned in Liyue Harbor.
Oh, yes. I have many interesting stories to tell.
Let us chat while one scrutinizes this device.
Yeah, don't you rest during the holidays? This is a festive season after all.
One has long been living secluded in the mountains and no longer observes the holidays. Worry not, one shall take appropriate care of oneself. Rest is crucial. If one is too devoted to one's research and falls ill, one shall be in no fit state to test the devices personally.
Is it really that important to test it yourself?
Of course. As one sows, so do they reap. And the joy of reaping is what one yearns for. If one spends all that time working on a machine, yet forgets to test the outcome, that would be akin to a chef who never tries his own food, no? It is unwise to put the cart before the horse.
Mostly because that won't work.
Enough idle chatter, everyone. One must go and continue one's research. Come, Shenhe, this way.
A chef who doesn't get to try their own food? That would be kind of weird.
Sure caught on that one quickly.
Cloud Retainer sure does know a lot about gadgets and cooking. Though, she can be a bit strange sometimes.
Like how that crab's on
But then
the
again, she is an
stool. Chair.
That's the wisdom of an adeptus. She takes good care of those around her. Though she lives in seclusion, she also manages to bring everyone together. A hermit who's more social than most living in society. What an interesting character. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to Wangshuin. Perhaps we'll find the Conqueror of Demons there.
For some reason, I never did this thing. Thought I did.
I will have order.
Let's use a Geo attack on Geo.
Let me weave you a bird. Teamwork is dreamwork. There is no escape. Ha! But a momentary distraction.
I didn't even up it. Need to find a few more treasure chests to get that to 100.
Let's ask Vergildet where the Conqueror of Demons may be.
Oh, he's probably on the roof.
Huh? Hold on. Isn't that... Chi-Chi? Oh, and the weird guy with the snake around his neck.
Ah, Chichin Baizu.
Dr. Baiju, here are the herbs. I've picked lots of them.
Splendid. Let me pack up and then we can be on our way.
Hey, you guys! What are you doing? Dr. Baiju wanted herbs. So, I came to collect herbs. Lots of them. And Dr. Baiju came too.
Traveler, Paimon. Oh, and Lady Kaching. It's a pleasure to see you all. We're here stocking up more herbs.
The snake talks too.
Boo Boo Pharmacy always runs out of digestive herbs during the festival seasons. With Lantern Rite just around the corner, I thought we should get prepared. We came all this way to collect some herbs, and we've picked quite the assortment. We'll be on our way back to the pharmacy once the herbs are sorted. I certainly didn't expect to see the Yuheng all the way out here.
I have some business to attend to here.
Ah, I see. It's nearly time to celebrate Lantern Rite, and you're still running errands. Hardworking as always.
I appreciate the sentiment, Dr. Baiju. I'm just doing my job.
Kaching and the Traveler are very busy. And we are busy too. Everyone, keep it up.
Right. Thank you, Chi-Chi. We shouldn't tarry here any longer. Take care, you two. 3. Traveler, let's go find Virgoldette.
Dr. Baiju, are we done yet?
Yes, almost. But don't rush me. Just give me a moment.
Ah, Lady Kuching. What a surprise. Is there anything I can help you with?
No, thank you. I'm just wondering if you might know where the Conqueror of Demons is.
Oh, we never inquire about Xiao's whereabouts. But if he's here, he would be up on the rooftop terrace. Please feel free to go up and have a look.
He doesn't seem to be here. Perhaps we came at the wrong time.
Maybe he's out battling somewhere again. Let's leave the gifts with the owner and ask her to...
How can I help?
Teleports behind us.
Where did you come from? You scared Paimon!
Yes.
Hello, I am Kuching, Yuhong of the Liyue Qixing.
The Yuhong. Yes. I saw you when we battled Osile. You are fierce with your blade.
Anyway, we're here to give you some lanternite presents. See? There's lots of tasty food.
Don't waste your delicacies on me. Eradicating demons is my duty. You don't have to thank me. Karma is harmful to the human body, even if you have a stronger constitution than most. You should keep your distance from me when you can afford to.
Yeah, that subtitle wasn't even correct.
Hey, wait! Are you leaving? Aw, come on! Lanternite is almost here! Don't you want to take a break?
Like I said before, I have no liking for crowds. I must remain vigilant of evil attacks, especially during the holidays. I will continue my patrol as usual. You should also exercise caution. And if there's any danger, good.
Yeah, we can summon him at any time.
And he's gone. Well, Xiao hasn't changed a bit. Wonder if he'll come and watch the fireworks this year, though.
All right, we've completed our visits with all the Adepti. Let's take a break downstairs before we head back into the city.
Oh no. What should we do?
Uh-oh.
Huh? Oh, Lady Kuching! Lady Kuching! I'm so glad to see you here.
Feng Yi? What's wrong? What are you doing here?
Lady Kuching, let me explain. I had rearranged the fireworks layout and expanded the range to Qingsa Village, just like you requested. My people finished setting up the fireworks and we left someone in charge to launch them for the show. But the person we left in charge came back shortly after and reported that all the fireworks in Qingsa Village had been stolen.
Aww.
I immediately reported the situation to the Millelith and had another batch of fireworks made to be transported to Qingsa Village under escort. However, everyone's short-handed during Lantern Rite. The Millelith are already stretched thin and don't even have enough people to fill their regular patrols. They can't spare anyone to look after the fireworks for us. We don't have many materials left, so if the second batch of fireworks gets stolen as well, we're done for. So, I was thinking to go to Qingsa Village and have a look first. Which is when I bumped into you. Lady Kuching, what should we do?
According to the Ministry of Civil Affairs, the number of guards on patrol has to be doubled and rotated continuously during Lantern Rite. They must perform these extra measures in addition to their standard daily affairs. The only manpower they can muster during the festival would be the emergency response units. But those special units are intended only for backup. There are not many of them and they cannot perform prolonged guard duty. If we wish to make use of them, we'll need to resolve the problem quickly.
Maybe we can ask the Adepti for help. This would be a piece of cake for someone like Cloud Retainer or Xiao.
No, that would only make us look incompetent. I'll handle this, Pengyi.
That's right! We can take care of this, together!
Thanks, you two. Actually, I have an idea. Let me make some arrangements. Pengyi, go back to Liyue Harbor and get the fireworks ready. Then meet me in Qingce Village. Traveler, come with me. Let's ask around to see what happened.
Man, this is a lengthy quest. Also that we can do a certain event. That's kind of good because my resin hasn't fully recharged yet anyway. Came on here with 154 resin.
Oh,
Now I'm at 159.
how could a whole batch of fireworks just vanish like that?
Hello, Granny Roshin. We'd like to know more about the recent fireworks theft.
Oh, Lady Keqing, I can hardly believe you came personally to investigate.
It's no trouble at all. Please, tell us what happened.
Well, when they brought the fireworks, the children in the village were very excited. They were all gathered round, watching the area for a long time. The workers piled up the fireworks and said they would go confirm the locations to set them off. That's when they left the village. Oh, now let me remember. Ah, yes, I recall that they left the fireworks in an open area just next to a house down the old road. But the very next day, all the fireworks were nowhere to be seen. The person in charge of the fireworks was so anxious that they went straight back to the city to find a solution. Oh, the villagers here are worried too. The fireworks missing can only mean that there are thieves about. There are elderly and kids in the village, you know. Although the Millilith are stationed here, no one dares to go out anymore.
I understand. Please help reassure the people in the village and tell them everything's going to be fine with the Millilith standing guard. Traveler, let's go investigate the place where the fireworks were stolen.
This is the place. The fireworks were stolen here.
The thieves must think there are mostly elderly and children living in Qingce Village, all too weak to defend themselves. Otherwise, they would never dare commit such a blatant crime. This is absolutely awful. We cannot let such a matter go unpunished. Let's see if we can find any clues here before we plan our next step.
Bet you the Fatui did this.
Are these footprints?
They sure look like them.
Let's see where they lead.
Nice. 2 whole levels.
The footprints continue here. Let's keep following them. The footprints continue here. Let's keep following them.
Oh, I see Sing Kui and Chongyun up ahead.
Sir, please. This is all just a big misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding, you say? If so, then tell me, why are you hiding here?
Please, good sir. This really is just a misunderstanding. I would never dream of getting anywhere near the Feiyun Commerce Guild shipment.
Something's happening over there.
Hey,
Let's go
nice
have
to
a
meet
look.
you, Cricketune.
Hey. Thanks for cricket tuning in, you absolute bug. That's a cute username, and thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Oh, the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It must be.
Please, save your breath. Restrain this fellow. Tightly now, we mustn't let him get away.
Yes, young master.
I was sure it was an evil spirit. Turns out it's the treasure hoarders again.
Xingqiu Changyun! Hello!
Got some good opinions on your character's builds. Oh, yeah. What kind of opinions did you get?
Well, hello, dear traveler. Our fates cross once again. What brings you here?
Excuse me. Please, tell me what is happening here.
Oh, that's good.
Ah, yes. Allow me to explain. It so happens that every year during the Lantern Rite, the Feiyun Commerce Guild transports supplies to various villages outside of Liyue Harbor. Family rules stipulate that the supplies must be personally escorted by a family member. Because my older brother went last year, the duties have fallen to me this time around.
Yeah, that's good. It's always nice to get opinions and being told that you're at least on the right track.
So what's Changyun doing here?
Chongyun happened to be visiting, so I cordially invited him to join us for the journey.
Oh, I see. But why did Changyun say he thought there was an evil spirit?
That's his shtick, Paimon. You should
I
know
see
that by
you are
now.
not familiar with the story of old. It is said that fireworks were once called firecrackers, and were used to ward off evil spirits and the like. In ancient times, Liyue was plagued by evil spirits. As people gathered together to celebrate the annual festival, the yang energy would intensify, and evil spirits were thus attracted to the fringes of the city by the strong scent.
Raiden is nearly perfectly done. Well, that's good. For my Raiden, I'm still trying to grind a Severed Fate attack percentage sans. Haven't come across one that has decent substats yet.
Liyue Harbor was under the gracious protection of Rex Lapis, so the spirits dared not enter the city. However, they still lingered near the city gates and pestered the passers-by. In order to drive the spirits away, people made firecrackers and lit them near the city gates. The flashes of light and loud noise successfully drove the spirits whence they came. This festival is now known as the Lantern Rite. It was my intention to travel around to see if there are any malicious spirits lying in wait for passers-by. Since I happened to have a shipment of goods to deliver, and our course was through the mountains, I naturally thought it best to have my thaumaturge friend traveling alongside me.
Oh, you picked energy recharge? Yeah, I might lean into energy recharge, but
Xingqiu said he learned the story
more
about
focusing
evil
on
spirits
attack.
from
Yeah.
an ancient text. The text vividly describes the appearance and even the whereabouts of the spirits.
I also, give me a sec here. I think I have like her second or third best weapon. I don't have the Staff of Homa, which sucks. No, that's not her best weapon. That's her second best weapon. Yeah, I have a Primordial Jade Wing Spear on her, which is her third best weapon. If I had a Staff of Homer, that'd be nice. Oh yeah, you have the Engulfing Lightning. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I never bothered. Did I roll on the Engulfing Lightning? I forget. Your staff's, your Homa stays on Hu Tao. Yeah, that's understandable. If I had a Staff of Homa, I'd probably have it on my Zhongli.
Anyway, when we arrived at the area, Chongyun sensed an ambush about to take place. Upon searching the area, we found a group of treasure hoarders. They tried to flee the moment we were upon them. Fortunately, I was swift enough to catch one of them. Your timing couldn't have been more fortunate. We were just preparing to send them to the Ministry of Civil Affairs. He insists the matter is merely a misunderstanding, but things seem quite clear as I see it.
Good, sir. Just hear me out. Everyone knows the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Had we known it was your merchant caravan, we never would have dared to attack. The master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild is famous for his generosity and noble deeds, a true hero of the people.
He's trying to
So, you see, this is
suck her
nothing
up.
but a big misunderstanding. We didn't want any trouble with the guild.
Oh, you got deathmatch on him? Yeah. I have 2 primordial jade wing spears. Both my Zhongli and my Raiden are using.
What you mean to say is that you were targeting someone else then? Well, who was it?
Well, just trust me. We were definitely not trying to steal your goods. Please believe me.
Master Xingqiu, I would like to borrow a few of your staff to escort the thief to the Ministry of Civil Affairs. As for the bounty, we will pay you afterward.
It is my humble duty to uphold justice. No remuneration shall be necessary. Come then. See that this thief is taken to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Yes, young master, leave it to us. You heard him. Take this man over there and make sure he's secured. Tie each of his fingers separately if you have to.
Ooh.
He's not gonna pull anything under our watch.
Wait a second. Please also deliver this message to the Ministry of Civil Affairs. It's very likely that this thief is related to the recent fireworks theft in Qingce Village. Make sure they have someone question him thoroughly.
Xiao has a 2 refined one. Nice. I would have refined mine, but I kind of wanted to spread them out since 5-star weapons are fairly hard to come by.
So the plot thickens.
Like I have 2 primordial jade wing spears and 2 wolf's gravestones.
Is your task clear? We mustn't disappoint the Yuang.
Yes, young master, I understand. We'll be on our way.
I've heard many good things about you, Master Xingqiu. Thank you for your assistance.
I hardly lifted a finger. Think nothing of it.
Everyone, my intuition tells me that there could be more than one group of treasure hoarders in this area.
More than one group?
Oh, you've got quite a keen eye too, Chongyun.
During our search, I found scattered sets of footprints differing from those on the road. There may still be other treasure hoarders waiting to ambush passers-by. When I was chasing the treasure hoarders earlier, I noticed that they were nearly unarmed and very few in numbers. If they truly intended to ambush the Feiyun Commerce Guild, they must have overestimated themselves. If you ask me, they didn't seem to be staging an ambush, but rather it appeared as if they were waiting for someone.
It appears they may be the thief's accomplices. They were probably hiding here to wait for the stolen goods.
What exactly are the stolen goods, if I may ask?
Whole bunch of fireworks.
Taking advantage of the elderly and children. What a loathsome group of criminals. Lady Kuching, don't fret about manpower. Chongyun, let's go lend them a hand in Qingce Village, shall we?
Yeah, just leave it to us. We can handle a bunch of thieves.
Thank you. That will help alleviate the crisis in Qingce Village. Unfortunately, the footprints we were following end here. I don't know where we should go next. It seems we were only a moment away from catching all the treasure hoarders.
Aww. Kuching.
Thank you. Master Xingqiu, I'll leave Qingce Village under your watch.
Most assuredly, Lady Kuching.
It's fortunate our paths crossed with those two.
It's so cool to fight for justice!
The thieves who stole the fireworks haven't revealed themselves yet.
Oh, Paimon.
I'll go have a look around. Traveler, please go take a rest in Qingce Village. I've troubled you enough already. I can handle the rest of this matter myself.
Can you now?
Kuching, are you planning to look for clues all by yourself? Somehow that doesn't sound like a very good idea. Oh, wait! You're in the Liwei Qixing! Why don't you ask some of your subordinates to help? At At least it'll be safer than investigating on your own.
Yes, I agree, but we are short-handed at the moment. I can handle these trivial matters myself. The fireworks that were transported to Jinxa Village were quite bulky. They couldn't have gone far. Way I see it, if they were clever enough, they would conceal the stolen goods somewhere and then come pick them up later. All I have to do is find out where they hid the fireworks and then return to the location with reinforcements. Don't worry. I am not reckless, and I won't carelessly alert the thieves. You can certainly trust me by now.
Well, when you put it that way...
It's settled then. Traveler, Paimon, please go get some rest. I'll go find you in Jinxa Village when I'm done.
There. I thought that quest was going to drag on for longer. There, now we can finally make more fireworks. Sec here.
Every
Forced to pay. That's cute. Let's check out his Raiden then. And there's the engulfing lightning. Would have been nice to have that weapon. Ooh, that's a good feather. Damn. Oh, these are the artifacts I want. That flat defense could have been something else, but no. Damn. Yeah. Fuck, I wish I had these. Even the feather and the flower are good. See a Zhongli. What's he got? Oh, is he running? Yeah, deathmatch. Right, yeah, it does crit. Yeah, that's good. I don't like the defense percentage substat. In my opinion, that could be better. but at least the rolls went mostly into the damage and rate. That's pretty good. Oh, crit damage, cool. Nice, a flat, an even 200% crit damage. That's nice. Yeah, rank 2.
journey has its final day. Don't rush.
All right, now to make those fireworks. Where's that fancy firework thingy that we were given? There. Bloom paints the cold blooms. Yeah, this little mini game's kind of like smithing on the fun size forge in Dragon Quest XI. Just gotta get it to the little bar. broke that. Oh, but now I'm out. Okay, try that again. Probably would make more sense to do the greatly on him. That. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Just edging it. Ooh, nice. That works. Perfect. Now for this one. Ooh, wow, really got to work on that height. Size just needs a little bit. No, that's not going to work. Try that again. Now we can't use that because the size is already capped. What does this one do? Oh, okay, that works. Now we just need to get the rest of the height. Yeah, there we go. In 3 days we'll get to do this one, which I think is going to be beating up that sea serpent that showed up last time. Yeah, gonna beat up that sea serpent so we can get these. So that way we get a free choice of one of the Liyue characters, the 4 stars, including the new one that was in the previous banner. I'm probably gonna lean towards him because I need more of his constellations to begin with. Either him or Yanfei. We also need more talismans so we can... Yeah, criteria not met. This is an alt skin for Ningguang. Okay, still that. Alright. Is my resin regen? It is. Alright, let's do some more artifact grinding. I feel like still trying to work on Zhongli and Raiden. Yeah, I kind of feel like let's see if we can drum up some more stuff for Raiden. After that Baka fella talking about his Raiden, that's kind of got me spurred up to work on mine.
Let's finish this swiftly.
Solidify!
Body and mind. Witness the power.
Don't get frostbite. Freeze! Time for retribution! This is order. Solidify!
No, my sword! Let me weave you a bird.
Cool it!
Wrong set. Not even gonna bother looking at it. Either Emblem of Severed Fate set or artifact food.
Order guide you. Gather.
Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power.
Oh, so sorry. Verdict is...
Damn, it's not looking good in these runs. It's not bad for a circlet, for an attack percentage circlet. I'd say I wasn't going to bother to look at that stuff, but when it's a circlet.
This is order. Solidify.
Ring cutter. No, my sword.
Don't get frostbite. Retribution! I will have order.
Should have stuck with D-Luke. Chewed through him faster. Watch me not get a single Emblem of Severed Fate piece.
Stabilize.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate.
This will be frozen. Burn. This is order. Solidify.
Oh, so sorry.
Kinda wanted to DPS him with my Kaya. I know, my D loop just hits a little bit harder. Finally. It's not bad. It's not bad. That could be crit damage. Of course, we also don't know what its fourth stat is. That's a potentially decent feather.
Stabilize.
Witness the power of Gua. Know my sword.
Freeze. I will have order. Stabilize.
Dodge this. Don't get frostbite.
Retribution.
Maybe I should have went to a different domain instead. Maybe today's bad for Emblem of Severed Fate pieces.
Solidify.
Ring cutter.
Cool it. Oh, so sorry.
Furnaces. Stabilize. Order guide you.
Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power.
Freeze.
Don't get frostbite.
It's not even a good one either. Unless you're building for defense. Man, these are some bad runs.
I will have order.
Ring cutter. Know my sword. Rain outlines your fate.
Dodge this. This moment will be frozen in
Burn.
Nice. I think that's my fastest. 44 seconds. Oh, now we're talking. That's a crit rate that... Maybe. Yeah. Alright. Last run. Let's hope for an Emblem of Severed Fate, Sans. Even an Emblem of Severed Fate piece at this rate. Probably have better luck getting Crimson Witch pieces.
freeze. Oh, so sorry.
Damn it. I was hoping he would not leave the area.
Time for retribution. I will have order.
Ring cutter. Rain outlines your fate.
will be frozen in time.
Come on, big money. Emblem of Severed Fate item. Fooey. Yeah. That was a bad run. There's that. Alright, now to level some stuff up. No, I was working on this. Get this leveled up for Zinqui. Kinda hoping it touches the crit rate for the last roll on it. Most of the rolls went to the HP and the energy recharge. There we go. Ouch. It hit the HP. Oh well. It was better than his previous feather anyway. I do have this energy recharge sands. Maybe I might settle on that. Didn't I have another one? I thought I was working on 2 of them. Oh, actually, we gotta see that feather. Yeah, let's see what that 4th stat is. Ugh, flat defense. Maybe. Yeah, I suppose if it had energy reach... No, it has energy recharge. Disregard me. Yeah, I suppose those 2 stats would have been better, though. What was another one I was working on? No, that's Elemental Mastery. Oh, right, I was working on this feather, too. Yeah, let's work on this one. Dump it all on here. Hopefully make it into a better feather for my D-Luke. I'll keep that just in case. All this can go, though. Except for that one. I like him. That's crap. That's okay. Crit rate. Fooey, flat defense. Of course it was going to go in there. Oh, that's all I could do. Okay. Jam that in. There we go. That's all my... Oh, right. No, yeah. So I might actually keep that out of curiosity. Oh, shoot. We got weapons to jam into another weapon. Yeah, I was working on this one. So I might start working on my Yanfei. Right, yeah. Screw that weapon. I don't want to spend these just yet. And do I want to keep this? No, I do have a rank 5 Favonius Lance. Part of me kind of wants to keep it, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll hold on to it for now. Cool. That's pretty much all I wanted to do in Genshin Impact today. All that's left now is maybe do some wishes. got a fair number of primogems. Do I have enough to give myself 3? Oh, I'm 1 short. I wanted to do a 10 roll. No, I suppose since I'm screw it. I'll just buy one of these. There. Now we can do a 10 roll. That's disgusting. I already have her C6. Oh. At least the one I just bought now got refunded. Another stringless. Except I think I have a rank 5 stringless. Yeah, that was a bad roll. Inventory. Yeah, I already got a rank 5 stringless. Yeah, might as well hold on to it for now. I wish just refresh sooner so I could buy some more. Let's do one more roll. Ooh, it's Black Tassel. Already got a rank 5 one. Whenever I want to run Zhongli as a shield bot. Any more food to jam into this book? Probably not that, though. Just these ones. So yeah, that was disappointing. I am pretty close to pity, though. I am expecting a 5-star roll at some point. I just really hope I win the 50-50 and get another Zhongli constellation. I kind of feel like playing a quick retro game at this point. Why not? Alright. That's going to be enough for Genshin Impact for tonight. I'd like to play some retro stuff. Yeah, I kind of feel like messing around on the Super NES Mini. So give me a sec to set that up. Swap it over to here. Yeah, just give me a couple minutes. Alrighty. Oh. Maybe using the switch dock wasn't a good idea. Ah, there she is. Custom. There we go. Now it looks proper. All right. Some random stuff on here. Where am I on here? All right. We gotta press the reset button. Oh, geez. Geez, I wasn't very far in here. It has been a while since I touched this thing. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Just got the first pendant. Yes. Gotta get the book. To get that Book of Mudora. One time I actually tried shooting arrows at that guy and our arrows kept blocking. Oh, I'm out of arrows. Okay. I didn't realize I was low on arrows. Our book. Bomb her. Yes, I did. Could use those arrows right about now. Oh well, we got plenty of rupees. Except they don't sell arrows. Oops. Mean to bump into her. Trying to think what we can do right now instead of just going straight to the second house. Oh, right, we didn't get the ice rod. That's something to grab. Yeah. Not much we can do until we can get the power glove. Good spot for some fairies. There's one in the tree anyway. Longest time I always threw bombs to destroy these guys, but I found out that you can actually walk on this part. And I can take care of them this way. Ah, there we go. There's some arrows. Oh, there's our ice rod. Bother with this place. Oh, let's go ahead and bother with it then. I wanted to attack him with the fish. Ran into him that time. Let's do the desert paths. Power glove. Yeah, one grayed out room is a trap. There's nothing in it. For the tiles to do their thing. And I just realized that we actually didn't even have to wait for the tiles. We just needed that key in the corner. Same idea here, except it's in this corner, I think. Yeah. Not waiting on those tiles. Not again. Jeez, there's already people streaming Pokemon Legends Arceus. Kind of depressing. Alright. Eat up some Moldorms. Oh no, these are Lamolas. There we go. Good aim, you can defeat these guys with the ice rod, but that was terrible. Now we got stuff to do since we can now lift those rocks. Seeing that we're capped out on rupees. First order of business should be to get the flippers. swim. Toss our worthless boomerang in there. There. Now it's not totally worthless. Toss our shield. That's all she'll upgrade. Now to go and spend the rest of our rupees. Get some upgrades. That's what more bombs. Two bomb upgrades at least. Carrying capacity. There. 20 bombs should be enough for now anyway. Now we'll get two arrows. There we go. We have more money to burn, we'll get the rest of them. Yeah, pretty much just regained all the rupees that we just tossed into that pond. Mind me. Spots for that. Secret of Mana real quick. Oh, level 2. What's the save state at, though? There's a save state. Oh, it's roughly same area. Totally a game on there. Oh, there's not much of it, no. tend to roll into them. That was not intentional. World 1? What? I sure haven't played a lot of these. Some Yosh. Some of the Yosh. Cat finally woke up. He was sleeping on the bed the whole time. Give me a second. He doesn't want to leave the room just yet. Ah, there's one Mario at least. Aw. Oh well. Good old Mario RPG. Surely I'm farther than that. No, I'm not. Ooh, those timings. There we go. Gotta jump. Strong enough to kill him with fists now. tab. XP do I need? 18. Beat up some spinies for that. Or spiky. Slow going. Do that for another time. Jeez, I'm not that far in Earthbound either. Jeez. Nope. Just gonna go to the hilltop. Traveling entertainers are there. I think I'm gonna end the stream at this point. A whole lot going on today. Next stream will be on Saturday, which will be my birthday. Which the plan is a little bit of Animal Crossing New Horizons, and then we're gonna start a playthrough of Pokemon Legends Arceus, because that comes out tomorrow. But I plan on picking up a physical copy before I go to work tomorrow, and then I'm gonna make sure not to play it until Saturday. It'll be possible. I'm not in a big rush to play this game, but I'll definitely be starting it on my birthday, so that should be something. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with a raid either. So with that said, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a good night, and I hope to see you all on Saturday.